It's the 25th of March and this is your Solana Daily Debrief long form edition, but it's still going to be pretty fast today. So Dex Volume is up over 50 billion. A lot of this will be to arbitrage traders. However, even once the arbitrage is kind of sorted, as soon as validators are upgraded in the future on Solana, we're still going to see an increase in actual Dex volume because there's a lot of opportunity over here. Remember, the actual goal of Solana was to be like Wall Street, but on the blockchain. So to be able to pull in a huge number of players and liquidity and have it on the blockchain in a very, very fast way. And when things start to get faster and faster at what I imagine is going to be quite a fast rate, then we're going to see a huge amount of liquidity done on chain because there's more expected value from actual traders. This is a little video from Kyle. So I'm just going to make this up full screen for a second. Basically the bankless guys, I would say they're smart people. When it comes to Ethereum, they know so much more than I do, 100%. It's just interesting that they go and say things on Solana without having someone in their bankless team that is familiar with Solana and has a connection to someone in Solana. So as an example, they're talking about how 70% of transactions are failed. And this is true, 70% of the transactions are failed. But what they don't understand is everything about it. So Kyle from Hedgehog, he goes over this and he gives a very simple analogy which they'll understand, and to be honest, anyone will understand. So to be honest, they're actually really smart people, but they have all their bags based on Ethereum. Now the reason why we're seeing such a huge number of withdrawals or transactions fail is because the actual blockchain has changed. So in your wallet, details have changed. Or because the blockchain moves so fast, maybe the actual price that you're going to swap one token to another token at, maybe that's changed. And due to your slippage settings, it can't go through because it's changed. So it's pretty obvious. Watch the video if you're a little bit confused. Merk goes over it as well, but he goes over it at maybe like I'm explain like I kind of understand Solana already, as opposed to explain like I'm 5. Next up, stake your soul. I'm going to start pushing this a little bit more because I don't think people understand how important staking your soul is. So Topo's a smart person, very, very smart person, and staking with validator.com puts in 1200 soul and claiming more and more soul every epoch, which is exactly how it is expected to work. Now this person, Abe, says staking 240k to make 0.25 soul a day is crazy low, just my point of view. The reality is, it's actually the smartest thing you can do. So if you're going to go and spend some funds to do points farming or LPing, that's completely understandable. But I believe, and it's not financial advice of course, but you should take some profits and put it straight into staking because staking has so much upside and it has very, very low risk. Now, I'll give you a little bit of an example with this screenshot here. This is from Kamino Finance. Kamino is probably the best place to do automated strategies on Solana by far. This is over the last 6 months. If you just held your soul, you would be up significantly. If you held your soul and you staked your soul, you'd be up even more. If you hodled your token pair, you would be up like this. And if you did the Kamino strategy, this is what this is like. So unfortunately, providing liquidity is not actually juicy. Hopefully it becomes juicy due to points, such as points for the Kamino token or points for the DYOR token when that launches. Next up, we've got the top 10 DeFi themes to watch on Solana. I'm not going to go through them. I'm just going to link below basically. Essentially, if you're a dev and you want to find something with product market fit, then this is what I would get into. DeFi is where money's going to rotate. NFTs are not getting a lot of love, and I can understand. Money goes where it's treated best. DeFi is where it's treated best. So have a look at this thread if you do want to start building something, and in my opinion, it should be definitely DeFi. Noon is excited for Grass and Uprock. This is probably my actionables of the day, but I'll go over them at the end. At the very least, sign up for Get Grass and Uprock. Get Uprock on an Android phone and just let it do its thing, and do Grass on an extension on your computer without a VPN. Coliseum invests in hackathons, they invest in new projects, they do angel investing, they do a lot of stuff, and they have a proposal to invest in the MetaDAO project. It has passed, and this is a thread why they are very excited. Long story short, MetaDAO is going to change the world. If you've got the bandwidth, get involved in it. Futagi has a lot of different use cases, and I really like it. One of the best writers on Solana, I think, is definitely Slorg. This is a quick little thread on basically a rug that went all the way up to Department of Homeland Security. And you may have heard of this. Essentially, the US Air Force, they looked into a rug on Solana and we thought, that's crazy. Why on earth are they getting involved in that? I saw one tweet that literally said, is the government so confused that they think airdrops should be investigated by the military, by the Air Force, because it's airdrops and Air Force? It wasn't anything to do with that. They are much smarter than that. Essentially, there was a rug and they were just pushing up the price, which is normal in crypto, of course. Then they announced a collaboration with Stoned Ape Crew, which was false. And then they made off with a decent amount of money. I believe it was about $250,000 at that time. The funds were then converted to ETH and they were cashed out at Coinbase. Someone managed to work out who they were and managed to find out they were in the actual Air Force in the US. So then I guess they subpoenaed logs of Discord and stuff like that. And they saw things such as, do Discord logs show if you delete the account? The answer is, of course, yes. And the ruggers were charged with wire fraud and money laundering and could face up to 5 years in prison. And the reason why all these people were involved is basically because they were military people, and one of the people that got rugged was also a veteran. But shout out to Slog for making this an enjoyable read, giving us all the info, and it's nice and concise. The Bonk guy, remember this guy, he's got a massive long on Bonk. At one stage it was over 10 million in profit. It's probably 8 million in profit or thereabouts. And he has a thesis, and I guess his thesis is that Bonk is going to do extremely well. And you can see with Bonkbot, they've generated over $9 million in fees this month. And then 10% of the fees buys Bonk and then it burns Bonk. And Joe McCann is a Bonk bull. Now, just to be very, very clear, he's very bullish, very, very bullish. And, you know, I think it's important to have a bullish thesis and a bearish thesis and try and find something in the middle that may work. However, basically, he's thinking they're going to start burning 90 million a month, meaning there's 900 million in fees being pulled by Bonkbot. There's a new tool out, QnA3.ai. I'm still looking into it, to be perfectly honest, but you can go to the website and then you can just ask a question and it gives you all this good information, which you can use as part of your strategy. So let's go and ask it another question. Should I buy Ray? Let's see if it finds the answer here. I have seen errors, by the way, and the website can be a little bit slow. It's of course not saying, yes, you should go and buy Ray because of these reasons, but it's giving you basically the market sentiment, some technical analysis, and then you can use that information to make up your own mind. So as an example, for a long position, a take profit could be set near the first resistance level of 2.17. It's such a minor move up that maybe if we're going to trust this information, we wouldn't go with it. Now, if Ray came out and said we're going to have a launch pad again, like they initially had back in 2021, then this price will go up to $5 really, really fast. But they haven't said that or anything like that, and I'm not bullish on Ray. Now let's have a look at Dupe. Should I buy Dupe? Failed to get that. Let's try again. Let's try with a ticker. Failed to get it. And for some annoying reason, it keeps on deleting the question. So there are issues here. It's not a perfect thing, but I'd be keen to see if I could get it to work, what this actually is. I don't want to dive in and talk about airdrop or data mining or anything like that initially, because I still feel this is really, really beta, and I wouldn't be asking anyone to go and connect their wallet to it just yet. Now, I use Phantom Wallet, and this is my preferred wallet. However, you're welcome to do whatever you want. It's your choice. There are multiple wallets out there, and I must admit, the new backpack feature, which I haven't actually played with, but backpack's sidebar feature looks really cool, so there's no pop-ups. That's a really good feature. The thing I worry about is the fact that I want probably 1 million people a month to be watching my videos. And Phantom Wallet will do a much better job at protecting you from scams, from signing malicious transactions, and things like that. So that's where I get a little bit worried about Backpack, but if you've got the skills to pay the bills, then by all means, use both. This feature does look really cool, so shout out to the team. If you have a Claynos that can actually qualify for a class, so I believe the actual Solana Saga Claynos, they do not qualify for a class. Make sure you go and choose a class now, because then you get a Dactyl Raffle multiplier. If you're in it for the long run, then this may be something that you want to do. It's time to armor up, go check it out. And just down here, we've got Buzz saying, to clarify, every Clayno that selects a class before the digital companion is released will get the option of a free update upon release. For more information, as I'm not really active in the Claynos community, go and check out their Discord. They are expanding. They've gone and rented a decent amount of space in terms of office space to put everyone into one room, I guess, and just get them working and pumping out stuff. Today's actionable is definitely Banx. Now, I like Banx. I do like Banx. I don't like everything about Banx. I actually don't like how over-simulating some of their tweet threads are. I feel it's a better idea to be a little bit more like Slog, just like alpha, couple of JPEGs, alpha. Whereas this can get a little bit like overwhelming. That's just my kind of feedback. Anyway, launch.banx.gg. This is the official launch, and at 4:20 p.m. UTC time, you can go and claim some Banx if you have a partner NFT or if you use catnip or anything like that, and you can go and claim this. So claims open at 4 p.m. UTC time. Now you actually have to physically go and connect a wallet and then sign a transaction in order to claim the Banx. So some people are worried about this because of course it could be a malicious transaction. So they don't want to sign it with a ledger. So I'll do a recording at 4:20 and I'll flick it on Twitter so you can see what kind of transaction it actually is. Now after I sign the transaction, there's still a chance that in future transactions, they could be changed. I think the risk is exceptionally low. They've been here for quite some time, trying to put out great products, and I see no reason why there'd be anything malicious about this. But some people do like to keep it really, really safe and sign very few transactions with their ledger or with a hot wallet that has a decent amount of funds in it. Personally, I trust them, so I'll go ahead and I'll sign this transaction. But I'll show you the transaction once I've done it. Now remember, there's only 500 million Banx available to claim and over 66,000 unique wallets. And as an example, if you're like HFP and you've got 300 different degen apes in one wallet, or how many it is, you're not getting just one allocation of Banx, you're getting 300 allocations of Banx. So what I would do in the meantime is go and check with Solana Airdrop Checker which wallets qualify for Banx, and then work out an order in which ones you're actually going to go and claim first, in case it does manage to go through the claim in 30 minutes or something really, really quick. Start with a wallet with a small amount of funds in case you don't have time to watch my video, or maybe it takes me a few minutes to actually get the video up. So to clarify, you'll be using a wallet that has very few funds in it, or you could even move the NFTs out and then move on to other wallets. And if there's any sign showing a delegation of authority in the transaction, then of course skip it. But in my opinion, as long as you're using the actual correct website, you will be fine. Launch.banx.gg. This is what the site looks like. Be very, very careful about this. Noon has some updates on points. 1 million points with GetGrass is $3,000. This, in my opinion, is something that you should be working on aggressively as long as you've got decent internet. Everything else I'm excited for, especially Kamino Finance and Parcel, and I'm still doing my research on Zeta Market, but GetGrass is the easiest thing you can do. Just share your bandwidth and you're good to go. By the way, I'll quickly mention this, but Y2 Kappa is from the Kamino Finance team, and someone asked, and actually a few people have asked, and I've even asked the team myself, about why the referral system for Kamino is taking so long. Parcel has a really good one and they shipped it really fast, and Kamino's taking their time. And I don't like this. I definitely don't like this. I don't think it's putting the community first. However, they're their own team and they have to make the decisions. And I do prefer that a dApp is slow and putting a lot of time and energy into making sure that the dApp is super, super safe, that exploits can't happen, that your funds are safe, and that we can get a yield and we can get some sort of point system as opposed to putting energy into other things. Because at the end of the day, if you ship too fast and you have these exploits and a hacker gets in and takes $100 million, then your reputation is destroyed and your users lose money. So I guess advice for anyone actually building something, make sure it's super, super safe. As we really enter this bull market, I'm going to get a lot of pressure from different dApps to cover their product. And I want to know that they have an audit, they have other audits planned, they have a bug bounty, and if they don't have those things, then I'm probably not going to cover them. And I would also suggest avoiding them. This is one of the reasons why I like Phantom Wallet as well. A bug bounty is very, very important. Someone can find an exploit and then go and claim the actual prize, as opposed to what's happened with other wallets in the past, such as Slope, where someone finds an exploit and then they just exploit it. The final thing I'm going to talk about is greed. Now, this is a token that's going to be launching. It will be a meme coin. And I'm going to preface this by saying I'm going to make a video on this. Hopefully it'll be out today. With this meme coin, do not get any. I will be trying to get some. I'm not suggesting you get any. By me just saying this, it means that you're probably going to go and get some. But I am not telling you to get any. I'm going to give you a little bit of history on what it is, and it's probably worth at least watching the video. That's all for the news. Remember, all your actionables are Proc, GetGrass, and Banx. If you don't qualify for Banx, that's fine. At least get GetGrass installed on a computer that you're okay with, using some of the bandwidth, and start accumulating the points. I have a referral link below. Stay curious, and we'll catch you in the Greed meme coin video.